Brush with Death. Death's Doorstep Series. By Mia Hall. Chapter 1. Kira's eyes darted back and forth as she watched the beetle, which was a little bigger than her thumb fingernail, fly back and forth before her. It kept beating against the back window of the car, desperate to escape the moving vehicle, as it carried both it and Kira from her home in a small town in Idaho to Dreadmore, a magic academy 2 hours away. The car was filled with the scent of cleaner, her dad's cologne, and her mother's coffee sitting between the seats. Tall pine trees zipped by as they sped down the forest road toward the school. The creature made a slight buzzing sound, then smacked itself against the window to her right the final time. Kira gasped as it fell to the seat dead. It must have hit the window too hard. "Was that you or the bug, Kira?" her father asked from the driver's seat. His dark eyes glanced at her in the rearview mirror, concern wrinkling his brow. "It was the beetle," Kira answered, pulling her black hair into a ponytail before reaching for the dead creature. It was green and shiny, quite pretty when it wasn't buzzing around her head. Perhaps if she could use her magic to save it from death, they could stop the car and release it. "Throw it out the window if you can," her mother added. Her voice was high and quick from the stress of taking Kira to this new school for magic wielders and necromancers. Kira was to become a necromancer herself, and had barely made good enough grades to qualify. She could tell her parents were worried the slightest grade drop or issue would cause Kira to be suspended, and she'd be sent right back to a regular school. That meant her years of extra studying would be for naught, as well as the magical blood she inherited from her mother. Unfortunately, Kira was barely smart enough to get through a regular school as it was, so the chances of her being dropped from this one felt high. Hesitantly, Kira pressed her pointer finger against the beetle's back, then struggled to remember the healing spell she'd have to speak. Memorizing English words were hard enough. Remembering words in a language she didn't understand was even harder. Her lips barely moved as she muttered the words under her breath, stumbling over them and nearly biting her own tongue. She'd heard this and other spells spoken aloud before, and they'd always sounded so fluid and smooth. Why couldn't she do it like that? She sounded like she was trying to imitate a whale instead of a magic wielder. The tip of her finger began to glow slightly, emitting a gray light, and her heart leapt as she trained her gaze on the beetle's body. Would it move? Had she healed it? The car swerved suddenly, making her actually bite her tongue mid-sentence, and the glow disappeared. A moment later, she saw the shell of the creature blacken instead of bringing it back to life. She didn't even...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?